Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm coming back to you with another interview task, this time about the layouts in CSS and Flexbox, but you could also do that interview task using Grid, although in that case, even though Grid sometimes simplifies your code, this time it would actually complicate it a little bit. So what is the task? Here you can see six elements in a row, and your task is to manipulate this layout to make it look like this. So we have three elements in the top left corner and three elements in the bottom right corner. These containers for those elements have 500 pixels, and what else? Oh, and element number 2 and element number 5 or 6, doesn't matter really, are stretched. So yeah, that's the finished layout that someone that would like to get to our company as an intern should solve. There are a few rules about this task. You can definitely add elements here. You can change HTML, you can change CSS files. You can even, if you'd like, somehow add some JavaScript. Yeah, what you cannot do though is you cannot add classes to the flex items here, to the children. Okay, and actually it's not so easy to solve, and this kind of tasks show us how someone is thinking when building visual layouts. So that's the task that we often use. So how to solve it? Well, definitely what you have to do is to split those elements into groups 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. And as I mentioned before, you can manipulate HTML, right? So you can leave those tags as they are with UL and LI. But what I would do is change all of these, change all of these to spans. So let's do that real quick. And then I would group those in divs. Okay, and then I'm also going to change that one to a div just because I can. Okay. Next problem is actually positioning the div containers right now, because as you can see, now they render in a row. So what I'm going to do, first thing, is remove flex direction row. Okay, it's not going to change anything because they will still render in a single row, but we can stack them one on top of each other if we give each row maximal possible width. Okay, so I'm just going to add a class here because I cannot change those classes here. These are the rules. So that's gonna be, let's say, flex wrapper. Wrapper would also be nice. Okay, and I'm gonna use this class. Okay, and I'm gonna add the width of 100%. Right, and this is kind of counterintuitive because both containers have 100%, but the flex container has a flex as a display, meaning that it will try to squeeze all the elements in line. We can change that simply by specifying flex wrap and setting it to wrap. Okay, now we have those two elements on top of each other. Right, before default value was no wrap. Right, this is the default value. Therefore, you will see your flex wrappers in a single row. So simply changing that will fix your issue. Okay. Now moving on. Those elements are positioned correctly. They are in top left corner. These should be moved to bottom right. Okay. And I can do that easily. I can find the flex wrapper and select the second element, so env child 2, and set the justify content to flex and to push it to the other side. Did I flex wrapper I'm missing something here. Flex and that should work. Flex wrapper. Yeah, right. You have to specify display flex, of course, for it to work with the flex properties. Okay, so now we have these elements in place, so we're getting close. The next step is to add the proper height to the containers. So I'm going to do that. Okay, but now all of the elements are stretched. So I'm just going to do align items center. And now about stretching the correct elements here and here, basically you have to use a nested CSS selector. So that's going to be flex container, flex wrapper first child span, select the correct child, and then use align self property, because that's what we use when we want to change the alignment of just one one item in a container. Okay, and then, for example, if I would like to stretch the sixth element right here, I would copy that and say second child here, and for example third child here. And there we go. You have those elements separated, positioned in different corners, and then stretched. So yeah, that's it. That's a quick for you how to solve that interview task. You definitely have to know your way around the Flexbox, and then know a little bit about the nth child selector. Basically, what it does, it takes the uh, child with a given class and then the number of child. So basically, what, for example, that means is in the flex container, find a first child that has a class of flex wrapper, and inside of it, find the second child that has a span tag, and that's how you should read that. So yeah, thank you for that, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Goodbye.